so much for taking the time to join us. My name is Sukhmani Mohta. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Samsung's Display Division. Samsung is so excited to kick off our celebration of small businesses across America. Over the next several weeks, we'll be spotlighting small business owners on our social channels, and we'll also be showing you and giving away a really exciting product. Please see the details in the link below to see how you can enter. Did you know that there are about 33 million businesses in the US? And they're fittingly referred to as the backbone of our nation's economy. Small and medium-sized businesses play a critical role in molding the foundation and identity of our local communities. They're the heartbeat of our country. Today, I have the honor of introducing our guest, Ramon Ray, a dynamic entrepreneur. Ramon, I feel like if I list out all your accomplishments, we'll be here for a while. But he's a publisher. He hosts a show with USA Today, Rundown with Ramon. He has launched 5 companies throughout his career, and he's the go-to expert for small businesses. Ramon, so nice to speak with you today. Thank you for joining us.
It is fantastic to be here with you. I can feel the energy in the room as we help thousands of small businesses out there. So thanks for having me, and I'm excited to vibe with you and help small business owners. Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, let's get started. So with your 5 businesses, I know you have all of these things that you launched, and of course you also mentioned you sold some of them. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Sure.
Like, what motivated you? What were these businesses? How did you get started?
You want the real story,
The
or
real,
like just
real.
the real? Okay, so, but like many people, I got one of my first jobs. Not like many people. I got one of my first jobs at the United Nations.
Oh.
That was after working at a grocery store stocking groceries on shelves for earlier part of my career.
Oh,
But I applied to
wow.
work at the UN, and that was a part-time job. And then I was so good, they said, Ramon, can we keep you full-time? So I was there for many, many years, Sukh. Like many small businesses, they have the full-time job. And then I was bit by the entrepreneur bug. And so I had many side hustles, building blogs, content, et cetera, et cetera. And what pushed me into entrepreneurship, though, is I like to say I was fired. My content wasn't renewed because I was an entrepreneur. Different rules, that and the other. So I had to pick. Do I go to full-time entrepreneurship, or do I stay in the safety and security of a full-time job? And my vote was go for entrepreneurship. So here I am today, talking with you.
Wow. And so it's not easy being a small business owner. We were talking about how there are so many different hats. You're the CEO and the CFO. At the same time, you're a sales agent.
That's right.
What were the challenges you
yeah.
faced in your businesses, and how did you overcome them?
And I think that's the biggest thing. One of my buddies has a podcast called 21 Hats Podcast.
Ooh.
And I think that is the challenge, that you're waking up every day and you're wondering not if I have the job to do, but you're wondering which job do I do? So you're right. You have to be an expert at sales, expert at marketing, expert at hiring, whether employees or freelancers, building your website or not, the technology you can use. We're going to touch on that later on. So there's all these different things. And let's remember, as you both and I have, we have family that we're doing this for. So I think the challenge is really focus. What do I do? How do I get customers? How do I keep the attention of my business in front of the customers so they come back again and again? So I think the bottom line, the biggest challenges, all the challenges are running a small business.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. I feel like I want to ask you what a typical day is like, but it doesn't sound like there's a typical day.
There is not. The only typical day is I do my push-ups, I do stretches, I have a cup of very strong Cafe Bustelo coffee. And besides that, you're right, there is not typical. I think you have the speeds and feeds, if I can use that word. You know you need to get customers, or you have customers already, and you know you need to fulfill on what you've promised and what they purchased. Whether it's a retail space, we have Figurella, I believe it is, and they have women's fitness, whatever, in health, whatever it may be. You have to deliver on what you promised your customers. But you're right, the typical day is kind of, can I stay alive in a good way?
Yeah.
Not in a negative way, but can I stay alive another day to grow my business because I love the business, for the team I'm working with, but also for my family. So I think that typical day is, the typical part of the day is it's not so typical, as you said very well.
Right.
It's a mixture of things, and you keep going on, build your business. And one thing I'll add, you hope, though, you do reach an inflection point where it gets a bit easier. That may be in 5 years, in 10 years. So everybody's journey is different, but that it's not every day shouldn't be exhausting.
Right. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And with the holidays now around the corner,
That's right.
I know for many small and medium businesses, this season is a crucial time for the bottom lines. A constant contact study found that many small businesses generate almost like 25% of their revenue during this time. And for retail businesses, that's even more. 50% of the revenue comes during this time.
That's right.
How do you see the role of technology, software during this time specifically, but also just year-round, helping small businesses?
Technology is everything. And I want to go back to what you said, that stat. My math is not so good. I suspect your math is better, but you think there's 12 months, no, this is 10. There's 12 months out of the year, plus 2, 12 months out of the year, 25%. That's a lot of revenue that a small business owner is counting on for this crunch time of the year. So to your point, I think technology is a game changer because we small business owners, we cannot do it alone. Hence, I'm honored to sit with you representing Samsung. It's a partnership. I know what I can do. Bake my bread, make my clothing, serve my coffee, whatever the business I'm in, do my accounting services. But I think relying on a technology provider that can help me be more productive, help me be faster, help me go to speed better, build my brand better, all these different things is the benefit of working with the technology provider. So yes, that study is right. And I think that if you can, operational efficiency, how can I wake up every day and spend more time with my family and leverage technology to do more in my business to serve my customers? That's a game changer.
Yeah, I love that. And also in addition to what you mentioned there, a big part of it is how do you look at technology for various aspects of your business? You mentioned some of it, but also in terms of whether it's enhancing your brand awareness, it's growing your revenue. You spoke about cost a little bit to be a little bit more efficient. Customer service, you mentioned. Do you see technology playing a role everywhere? Is there some examples that you've seen in your real life, or even when you're going to visit a small business? What have you seen that's really great?
Yeah, I mean 3 or 4 things. Well, I shouldn't have said 3 or 4 things because now I have to say 3 or 4 things. So we'll see.
A few things. Let's say a few
few
things you've seen.
I think one for sure, we're in the world of AI. So I think the software world to speed up, whether it's CRM, automations, inventory, things like that, that's one. Number 2, the bucket of how do I get more customers? How do I retain the customers I have? And I think the third bucket this fits into those customers that have a retail store, those customers that have a physical location. How does it look around you? When people are walking by your store, are you capturing their attention? Or the customers you have, they want to go in and out of your store quickly. I was seeing some displays today that you will have, kiosks. Is that something you can invest in to make it much faster that your customer can get in and get out? So technology like that, and I think that was 3, wasn't it? Give or take,
it was good.
That's a game
got it right
changer
there.
for small business owners. So I'm an advocate of leveraging you do what you do and leveraging and marrying technology with it to go to market better, work faster, and serve the customer better.
Right. And also I think what we're seeing is a lot of digital natives that are now, shopping, going to these small businesses, and they're used to technology. They're used to, not interacting with people. They just want to be able to touch a few buttons or be able to see the content they want to see and be able to be self-sufficient. So what you said really makes sense, especially from a kiosk perspective.
And can I add to that?
Yeah, sure.
When you talk about the self-sufficiency and the customers being able to do it on their own, I think that's where I'll just say it again because I'm such a believer in this. I'm not going to quite cry, but I feel like crying sometimes.
Okay.
That's
we got a handkerchief right there.
We do. That's where the partnership that was important. Because there's only so much the small business owner can do. But you're thinking about the speed to market and getting the customers in and out. Larger companies can do that. We small businesses, we just can't. But relying on a partner who said, you all are doing it. You're thinking what's coming 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and we can invest in that. It's a perfect match. So I just wanted to add that I think that partnership is important.
Yeah, I love that. And as the market is becoming more competitive, you're seeing a lot more, from businesses. Every business owner, to your point, you said you want to survive. How do you survive? How do you remain viable amongst competitors? Some of which are big box brands.
That's right.
So how do you see that? How do you see some of these small businesses competing? So you mentioned technology part of it, but what else would you say?
I'll acknowledge first of all and say it's not easy. The reality of the market is the big box retailers and others, they have some level of advantage. They have the money, they have the inventory, they have the what do you call it, with the delta between the price increase and all those kind of fancy things. However, I think the advantage of the small business owner, we can move faster, we can move nimble, we can address the changing in the market faster. So I think, and we have the passion. This is
you have the passion.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much. If it doesn't work for us, it's game over. There's not like always a plan B. So I think that yes, the big box retailers are out there and other larger competitors, but I would tell the small business owner, don't spend so much time looking on them. You build, as Seth Godin would say, the niche in your market. You serve your customers and just do what you can to keep the customer you have, spread word of mouth marketing, and let things play on like that.
I love that because we actually had a customer who has her restaurant and she felt that she had other big chains all around her. but she wanted an authentic way to connect with her customers, and using some of our technologies, which is, we had a Pro TV that we put up there where she was able to communicate what was so special about her store.
Yeah.
And she was actually able to see a big difference before and after the tech. So I love what you said.
And those things make you look good.
Right.
Meaning, I was looking today here, and looking at the Samsung, what do you call the executive
Briefing center, yes. We tried to
And
come
the
up with something
technology is
fancy.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really good and a game changer for it.
Oh, that's great. So the SMB market also, one of the things we're seeing is evolving. We're seeing so many different businesses coming in. We're seeing so many different things. How are you seeing the SMB market, the world evolving?
Yeah, it's evolving hugely. I mean, when you think the jump that we had between the fax machine, between whatever other technology that you want to give, I think it's a huge, huge jump. So you look at today where AI, of course, it's on the front pages, you can't escape it, but I think the jump is a fewfold. One, customers expect things to be done faster. I think number two, customers expect things to be done instantaneously. Number three, the mobility of employees. You may be seeing that even at your company. You can hire somebody anywhere. Number four, the rapid pace of adoption of technology is moving on and on and on. And I think that's where the evolution's happening. You're having people saying, hey, I want to be in business, hitting a few buttons, and there it is. And even what you all are doing here, talk to some of your team. Ramon, hit a button, and yes, in a few, whatever the amount of time is, you can have this in your office. So I think I'm excited about technology, and I think my word to small businesses, can I like be on a little pedestal? I'm kind of on a pedestal now, right? My word to small businesses would be, don't put your head in the sand and ignore technology. My ask to you is that, yes, it may be a bit scary, but you have great partners like Samsung, so it may be a bit scary, but I think leverage it. Work with partners who can help you use it better than you can use yourself. That's absolutely important. It's game changing.
Yeah,
it's
I love
important.
that. We also have another customer who actually used to the point that you were making. They did not want technology. They used to use paper and print. So every time they had a new recipe out or a new product out, they would have to change everything and build all of that. And a part of their whole thing was to tell a story about how they came up with those recipes. So by changing it off to bringing technology in, they were able to do it in minutes rather than weeks, and they were able to see a big impact.
And I shouldn't have, when you said they used paper, I kind of looked negative at it, so I shouldn't do that. So if you're watching today, I meant to smile and say, that's good that you evolved your technology.
That's good. That's good. Well, looking ahead, we have Small Business Saturday coming up,
We do.
which is happening nationwide. It's next Saturday, November 30th. What are some of the creative ways small businesses can market themselves leading up to Small Business Saturday?
How much time do we have?
Oh,
I'm going to take a few hours.
let's do this.
Okay, so here we go. You may need to just, I don't know.
I'm
Here
ready.
we
I'm going to
go.
relax a little while
relax a
you,
little.
yeah.
Okay, so there's number one. I think don't forget the customers you have. Many times small business owners often may say, hey, what customers do I have? And forget that I already have existing customers that can help me. That's number one. Who are my existing customers? How can I serve them? I think number two, yes, you want to focus on and think about who are my new customers. Yes, that's important. But don't forget the customers you have. That's two. You stop me when I should go on. We
I
can
love
dive
it.
into this longer. We can
Yeah.
have it. And then number three, I think I like the aspect of psychographic and demographic. Sometimes we look, are they black, are they white, are they this or they that, from Texas or New Jersey, whatever it may be, wherever in the world. But I think the demographic only goes so far. But the psychographic, clearly, Sukh and I, she's much more fashionably dressed than I ever could be. But if you go to the psychographic of how we think, there may be common interests. So that's about 3 or 4. Think of the psychographic. Who's my customer, not just on the surface. Number 5, what are some partnerships you can do? Who can I align with that may be relevant to help me get to the customer? So alliances. What about referrals? How can I work with people and say, hey, listen, Sukh, maybe you're not going to buy from me, but I bet you know people who can buy from me. So let me pause a bit. I can go on, but what did you think of that?
Yeah, I love
Referrals
that.
and psychographic. Go ahead.
The psychographic was really interesting because I've never heard of that.
Okay, yeah.
Demographic, yes. But so talk a little bit about how do you think the small businesses, do they have the resources to be able to dive deeper into that? What have you seen work for some businesses?
One of your customers, I think it's a health and fitness, and forgive me, when you cut your head like every week, you forget things, and memory just goes, something like that. So, health and fitness.
Yes.
So instead of them saying, for example, we're going for Hispanic women,
Okay.
or we're going whatever, or we're going for women in the Northeast. That's more a demographic. That's the outward thing that we can do. But what if they instead said, we're going after women who love sports have small kids and are working in corporations. You didn't mention anything outwardly. That's how they think. That's the mind. You may be getting a whole different circle of a customer base when you think like that. And that ties also to your branding and marketing. Now, what do your displays look like? Now, what's on them? Now, what's not on them? Now, what do people have when they're passing by your store? Does that kind of make sense? You're
I
going
love
beyond
that,
just
yeah.
the easy, we're going after whatever the outward is. It's how are people thinking? What are they reading? What are they eating? How are they interacting?
Right.
So,
And it also goes to if it's health and fitness, what kind of classes you offer at what times that are better for that audience.
are you sure you don't want to be a small business
No,
owner?
my God. I had to, and it was so hard.
Yes, yes.
Because to the point you made, you're everything to everyone.
Yeah,
So it's not an easy thing to do.
And I couldn't take your job. So me and Sukh are not going to change functions here.
Yeah, thank God. Well, tell us more in terms of what are some of the ways small businesses can utilize technology to create memorable in-store experiences. Because you kind of spoke about that, right? The audiences that are coming in. How do you bring awareness? How do you bring them into your store? How do you get them to interact? So how do small businesses do that? Especially keeping in mind Small Business Saturday, shoppers are going to come, and you want them to become repeat
right.
customers.
That's right.
To the point you were making.
Samsung has some amazing, amazing big customers. And I say this because there's a lot of things we can learn from those customers. So calm down, small business owner. Oh, Ramon, I'm not a big business. What can I learn from them? Trust me. So you take a look at some of your best customers. One, when you go into their physical locations, how does it smell? Everybody can do that, whether it's air freshener or whatever. It seems silly, but I'm sure you can now thinking, yeah, I've been in places and it was a nice scent. That's one. Number two, is it well lit? If that's the mood you want, or lighting. Let me put it that way. Lighting has a big impact on how things are. Number two, signage. It's that understated thing, and this is your whole world, that understated thing. You don't know what it's like when it's not there, but when it's there, you're like, oh. So I think signage, because I'll tell you, when you go to a new location, you don't always know what's around. You don't know what to get. So signage helps put the brain, buy this here and there. So signage is something that's important. I think number four, don't forget to seed the market. Those who are not ready to buy right now, don't ignore them. Too often, I think of small business owners, Sukh is going by, she's not going to buy now. I do that often, kind of, right now. That's just my mimicking small business. So, Sukh is not going to buy now, but you may buy next time.
Right.
You may buy when you come back again. So I think that's number four, if we're thinking of how can we leverage the power of technology. It's a game changer. And too many times I think we look at the short-term results of it. It didn't happen now, but leveraging the power of technology is a long-term play. Going back to what I've seen today in your house, in your location here in Samsung, it's all in the mind. We think it's a transactional, but the best small businesses are those who play the long game and understand the psyche of the mind. I pass by the store again and again and again. Now it's time for me to buy a taco or a purse. Take your pick, or both, a taco purse.
Sounds good. I love what you said because I feel like you were describing my behavior. Because every time I go to a store, I am overwhelmed because I may not be able to want to make a decision in the first go. It takes me a little time. And an example is of a store called, it was a Bunt store.
Okay,
Bunt cakes. And I kept crossing it and I kept going inside, but I wasn't ready to buy until I was. But the store, the way they treated me, the way they were able to, they were helping me look around and they knew I was looking around. I loved how you broke it down into these different categories.
And you mentioned Bunt cake. I know we're doing a live show here, and it's about technology, but I have to tell you, my favorite is chocolate lava cake, hot right out of the oven, with vanilla ice cream on top. That's melting down. We can go back to the show, but I just had to, since you said Bunt cake.
I want one right now, right now, right after this.
And also, going back to the customer, if I may, who bought Sukh, is that when I think about, you said the Bunt cake example, but what I'm wearing right now, this was an immediate purpose. These are things going in the airport, stores, et cetera, and passing by, and then buying. So I just wanted to underline that. It's not the customer that's buying from you right now always. It's putting that brand awareness, having that visuals in, having the displays, having that visual impact so the mind sees it. When a Sukh or when Ramon's ready to buy, then we'll buy. So I think that's important, not the short-term result, but going for the long-term result. That's important.
Ramon, I love that. I feel like you and I could keep having this conversation forever.
Easy.
But I know that I'm getting looks from my team, but it's time. So thank you so much for speaking to us. I think we might have to get you back again because I feel like we're not done yet.
Thank you.
But how do people find you? So if they want more from this, and they want to do a follow-up, how can people find you?
I would love for people to check out RamonRay.com or zoneofgenius.com, and you'll be seeing more information from me and more information about Samsung as well. So thank you,
That's
Sukh.
great. Of course. Well, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate everyone that has been able to join. If you would like more information, we are doing a really exciting giveaway, so please check out our social channels over the next 2 weeks. We are also spotlighting a number of small businesses so you can see how they're using Samsung technology. If you are a small business and you want to enter our giveaway, please sign in. Please check out our links below, and you will be able to enter for a chance to win what we call a Samsung Pro TV, where you can put your signage up, you can be able to give communication to your customers, and we also are giving a 1-year subscription to our software, which helps you manage content.
Come on
So we
now.
were talking about content and how people are able to display and they can change content, and so you'll have all of that. So thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
You're a natural, Sukh.
Thank you. You are too. Do you do this for a job?
I do.
You do this for a living? You are probably really good at it.
Thank you. Team comments, thoughts, and Nidhi, what did you think? Comments, thoughts, or we can want to talk offline or better? Or? I love you too. And thank you for the signal, gentlemen, everybody along. Yeah. First I thought it was slow down, Ramon, but then I got the. Yeah. Yeah. No, I got it. No,
How
no,
long was
yeah.
it?
How long was this now? About 20.